Hi, everybody. Today is July 29th, 2014, and it is day two of the video blog. Woo! Um, First off, thank you, everybody, for the encouragement yesterday. I'm actually surprised at how many people watched the whole video. I didn't really think it would be of a lot of interest to people, but it seems like there's at least a few folks out there that want to hear what I have to say, so that's kind of cool. So thank you for that. I meant what I said about the positivity of being on the internet. So I'm going to try really hard to keep this stuff that I want to talk about as positive as I can. But today could be interpreted the other way, because what I want to talk about is it's sort of game related, but it's sort of life related. So take that with a grain of salt, because I think you can kind of read this both ways. But I'm going to start talking about it like a game, and then I'll explain later how I think it applies to everything. And that's the idea of playing to excel rather than playing to win. And what I mean by that is this. I was thinking about this yesterday. We had a game night with a couple of friends. And as we were playing, I sort of realized that when I play games, especially games that don't have a direct confrontation aspect to them, I generally don't play the game with the intention of winning. Now, that's not to say that I'm playing in a way that is going to be less than the best that I can. As a matter of fact, exactly the opposite, as you'll understand in a second. It means that I don't play for the purpose of winning the game. I play to do the best job that I can within the game. Which I think of as playing to excel, meaning that I'm trying to excel at my board position at any given moment, but I'm not really thinking about whether those things will result in me winning the game. And that might sound a little bit counterintuitive, so let me try and break it down a little bit more. In my head, playing to excel means trying to better yourself at every opportunity, doing whatever you can in the game to make your position better. Whereas playing to win is, in my head anyway, a mental concept of making sure that you are better than the other people at the table. So your focus when you're playing to win, at least to me, is the other people. You're focusing on what they're doing, and you're focusing on trying to make sure that your position is better than their position. Whereas when you're playing to excel in a board game, you're just doing the best things that you know how to do to make your board position as good as it can be. Now, this doesn't apply to all games, obviously. Any of you that play chess understand that games like that, where there is direct confrontation and the entire point of the game is direct competition with one or more other players, this doesn't really apply there. But for any games that involve victory points or money or things like that, which really, with most games that involve money, those are victory points. Whenever you're talking about something like that, we're talking about, in my mind, I try to do the best thing that I know how to do in order to improve where I am. And this has, for me, resulted in pretty good results. I think that more often than not, I tend to do pretty well in the games that I play. Now, you could make the argument that maybe I'm not playing against the most skilled players, or maybe, there's some sort of weird groupthink going on in my game group, and those are all very, possible things. I don't really know. But it seems to have worked well for me over the years. And so now I'm going to take that playing to excel versus playing to win concept, and I want to replace one word. And just kind of ponder this for a minute and tell me if this makes any sense. And leave comments below, in the video comments, or on, in the video comments on YouTube, because I'm not going to keep posting these to Facebook. I don't want to be annoying. But so instead of playing to excel, what if you are seeking to excel rather than seeking to win? it's effectively the same thing, right? I mean, we're talking about in the context of a game, you're seeking to excel by, doing the stuff that you know how to do, and in the context of life, you're seeking to excel by just being the best at the thing that you do, versus seeking to win, which is focusing on the people around you, focusing on the stuff that they are doing, and making sure that you are better than them. So, does that make a difference? Is it really different to think that way? And I think, honestly, yes, it does. I mean, to me, like I said yesterday, it's important to spend effort to try and be, make the world a better place than when you found it, right? And the best way, or one of the ways to do that, I guess I should say, not the best way, because who knows, I'm no expert. One of the ways to do that is to better yourself, make yourself a better portion of that world that you exist in. It's not just doing things for the people around you, it's also trying to make yourself a better person. So if you are seeking to excel, you're focusing on your own position. You're focusing on bettering yourself and bettering your own, position. And it's not position. I don't know. See, this is where it starts to get nebulous for me, because when you apply this to the real world, I still think that the general concept applies, that you want to be awesome at what you do, but it's not important to be more awesome than that guy over there or that guy over there. It's just important to be the best you can be. Many of you know that and I mentioned it in yesterday's video, that I'm a karaoke host. Well, I don't view this as a competition, right? Like, I don't care if I'm the best karaoke host in the area. Whenever I'm doing advertising speaker stuff, I may say that sort of thing, but at the end of the day, it's not really super important to me. I would rather be known as a karaoke host that cares about what he does and tries to give everybody around him a good show every single time, and tries to please people and make an awesome experience. But there are other karaoke hosts in this area that do a fantastic job. Some of them have better equipment than I do. Some of them might have a bigger song selection. Some of them might, have a better understanding of how to run live sound, and so therefore make people sound better. Some people, there's a million different ways that somebody can be awesome at doing my job, but that isn't important. What's important is that I am always trying to better myself. I'm always trying to better, do what I can to make what I do the best it can possibly be. I don't think focusing on the people around you and trying to, be better than, the guy next door, and make sure you have the prettiest lawn, make sure that my lawn looks great compared to his lawn. Look, he doesn't even weed and feed. You even lift, bro? It's that whole thing, that whole mentality, I think, is just a waste of time and energy. I really do. I don't think it's worth it. It's more important, work on yourself. Work on whatever it is that you do. Be as good at it as you can. Learn from the people around you. Don't compete with the people around you. There are obviously times when you're going to have to do a little bit of competition. It's the way that the world works. We can't avoid all of that. But whenever possible, don't focus on the people that you might be competing with. Just don't focus on that. Focus on you. Focus on being the best you that you know how to be. And I think that this applies to board games. I think that this applies to life. I think this applies to your work. I don't think that you need to show up a fellow employee. Let's say you work in an office and that Bob down the hall is a doofus, and always screws things up. You don't need to constantly be reinforcing the fact that Bob is a doofus. You know, you put your nose down, you do your job, and you make sure that you're just awesome. And the more awesome you are, the Bob situation will work itself out. These situations work themselves out over time. You know, the jerks in the world eventually get what's coming to them. I firmly believe that. You know, maybe not all of them, maybe not all the time, maybe not on a timetable that we're convinced, is appropriate. Maybe it's not a convenient timetable. That's where I was going with that. But at some point, what goes around comes around. So don't focus on, the people around you. Don't worry too much about whether the guy to your left at the gaming table has, 100 points and you only have 80. Well, okay, that might very well be true, but instead of worrying about his 100 points, worry about your 80 points. Figure out how to get more points, to be better. And I think that attitude, when extrapolated out into the rest of your life, can be kind of a powerful thing. I think that it can be a good motivator. If you worry about yourself, worry about, your immediate surroundings, and just be the best you can be. I don't know. Maybe I'm full of beans. If you have any thoughts on any of this stuff or whatever, leave them in the comments below. I'm always interested in, hearing what other people have to say about stuff. This is getting less scary. That's a good sign, right? Like, yesterday I was pretty much terrified as I was sitting in front of the camera, because I'm not used to staring at a little black dot, and trying to keep my thoughts together. But it's less scary today than it was yesterday, and I'm sure tomorrow will be less scary than today. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. Again, comments below, please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done so, because I'm not going to keep posting these on social media. That's obnoxious, and I would be upset if I had to see somebody's thumbnail of their face every day in my Facebook feed. So I'm not going to do that. So I'll do this last one, and then after this, whatever. So anywho, have a great day, guys, and be as awesome as you can be. And we will see you tomorrow. Well, you'll see me tomorrow. I will see that black dot right there. So anyway, take care.